Hello, I'm Sergeant Donegan with the Fayetteville Police Department. So the reason I'm here today is just to discuss traffic stops. You can be stopped for a lot of different reasons by a law enforcement officer within the city of Fayetteville, but all of those stops are based off of reasonable suspicion and or probable cause. Probable cause is based off of an officer observing your vehicle committing some type of violation. The officer is stopping the vehicle for the violation, not the actual individual driver. Those things could be exceeding the posted speed limit, aggressive driving, texting while driving, running through red lights. There's a lot of different things that you could be actually stopped for by a law enforcement officer. But like I said, those things are based off of reasonable suspicion and or probable cause. One of the things that you should notice on the officer should have what's called a body-worn camera, which records the interaction, and also an in-car camera that's mounted on the inside of his vehicle. These things are designed to capture actually what takes place from the interaction between the officer and the motorist. Officers are required to have body-worn cameras while interacting with the general public and or conducting traffic stops within the city of Fayetteville. Hey, I'm Sergeant Donegan, man, with the Fayetteville Police Department. The reason I stopped you today, your clock running 65 and a 45, ma'am. I just need to see your driver's license and registration of your vehicle, please.
Can I reach for my driver's license and registration?
Yes, that's perfectly fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. If you just wait here, ma'am, and I'll be back with you shortly, okay? As a motorist within the city of Fayetteville, one of the things you want to keep in mind is where you store your documents to your vehicle as far as your registration, proof of insurance, and your driver's license. You want to keep those things in a location that's relatively accessible to you and know where they are. If you happen to borrow a friend's vehicle while you're driving, needing to go somewhere, you want to also ask your friend or loved ones where those documents are kept. You always want to remain calm, keep your hands on the steering wheel, and wait for the officer to ask you for documentation. Just don't assume that that's what they want and start digging through a vehicle, because the officer may not know what your intentions are. All right, ma'am, let me explain to you. So what I've done today is I'm going to issue a state citation for speeding 65 and a 45, ma'am.
Wait, how do you know I was speeding?
Because I clocked you by LiDAR, ma'am. The reason how I know she was speeding is because I have to have an independent estimate of her speed, and I also use what's called a LiDAR. So this is basically a laser. This is target specific, so it's one individual car by itself. So what I do is once I estimated her speed, I look through this here is called the HUD. I basically look through the window, I put it on her car, I'll pull this here little trigger, and what it will do is it will give me her speed, miles per hour, and how far she is from me by feet. So that's the way that this particular vehicle was clocked. So I can also stop vehicles. The radar unit in the car, the units we use here in the city of Fayetteville are dual antenna radars. So I can clock vehicles coming at me, I can clock vehicles going away from me, coming up from behind me. If I'm following you, I can also clock your vehicle. So ma'am, on the citation here, so your court date is set for Friday. It's going to be October the 27th of this year, 8 in the morning, downtown Fayetteville, courtroom 2C, which is the administrative courtroom. Like I said, ma'am, what I charge you with is 65 and a 45, and this is a mandatory court appearance, so you do have to appear in court, ma'am. Here's your information back. I want you to drive safely. And do you have any additional questions for me, ma'am?
No.
All right, you're free to go, ma'am.